Hi everyone, I'm here in downtown Hayes, America, and I'm standing outside of the Washington Elementary School in Hayes, and this is a beautiful statue that Pete Felton carved, and I thought that it was just such a nice backdrop for the book that I'm about to share with you. This is called The Name Jar, and it's written by, and I'm not even going to attempt that name, I know I'm going to butcher it. The Name Jar. Through the school bus window, Eun-hye looked out of the strange buildings and houses on the way to her new school. It was her first day, and she was both nervous and excited. She fingered the little block of wood in her pocket and remembered leaving her grandmother at the airport in Korea. Her grandmother had wiped away Eun-hye's tears and handed her a pink pad and a small red satin pouch. "Your name is inside," she had said. "My name?" Eun-hye had wondered. Again, she took out the red pouch and looked at the wooden block with her name carved in it. As she ran her fingers along the grooves and ridges of the Korean characters, she pictured her grandmother's smile. "Is that thing for show and tell?" a boy asked Eun-hye, surprising her. Eun-hye looked up as more kids leaned over. "No, it's mine," Eun-hye answered, quickly putting the bag and the pouch back in her pocket. "Are you new here? What's your name?" a girl asked. "Eun-hye," said Eun-hye. "Eun-hye?" the little girl asked, scrunching up her face. "Eun-hye, Eun-hye," some kids chanted. No, Eun-hye corrected. It's spelled U-N-H-E-I, and it's pronounced Eun-hye. "Oh, it's you-hey," the boy said, like, "Hey you! Hey you!" And just then, the bus pulled up to the school and the doors opened. Eun-hye hurried to get off. "You-hey, bye-bye!" the kids yelled as she left. Eun-hye felt herself blush. Eun-hye stood in the doorway of the new and noisy classroom. She was relieved that the kids on the bus had gone to other rooms, but her face still felt red. "Aren't you going to go in?" asked a curly-haired boy with lots of dots on his face. "You're the new girl, right?" he asked cheerfully. Eun-hye nodded, and before she could walk away, the boy took her hand and pulled her through the door. "Here's the new girl," he announced so loudly that the teacher, Mr. Cocteau, almost dropped his glasses. Mr. Cocteau thanked him and greeted Eun-hye. "Please welcome our newest student. She and her family have just arrived from Korea last week." Eun-hye smiled broadly and tried not to show her nervousness. "What's your name?" someone shouted. Eun-hye pictured the kids on the bus. I haven't picked one out yet," she told the class, "but I'll let you know by next week." As Mr. Cocteau showed her into her desk, she felt many round, curious eyes on her. "Why doesn't she have a name?" she heard someone whisper. Maybe she robbed a bank in Korea, and now she needs a new identity," one of the boys replied. On the bus home, nobody teased her, but Eun-hye kept thinking about her name. "How was school, Eun-hye?" her mother asked when she walked in. "Did you understand the teacher?" Eun-hye simply nodded. She unpacked her school bag and set the red pouch by a photograph of her grandma. "I'm glad you're learning English so well," her mother said. "You must study hard and behave nicely and get good grades to show that you're a good Korean." "I will," replied Eun-hye, but I think I would like my own American name," she said quickly. Her mother looked at her with surprise. Well, why? Eunhye is a beautiful name. Your grandma and I went to a name master for it. But it's so hard to pronounce, Eunhye complained. I don't want to be different from all of the American kids. But you are different, Eunhye, her mother said, and that's a good thing. Eunhye just wrinkled her nose. Later that day, Eunhye and her mother went grocery shopping in their new neighborhood. They passed Fadil's Falafel, Tony's Pizza, and Dot's Deli. A big graffiti-painted garbage truck roared like a lion as it took off down the street. Nothing sounded or even looked familiar until they got to Kim's Market. The sign was in both English and Korean. Her mother picked up cabbage to make kimchi, Korean-style spicy pickled cabbage, and other vegetables and meat. She also found some seaweed, Eunhye's favorite. For soup, it made Eunhye smile. Just because we moved to America, her mother said, doesn't mean that we can't stop eating Korean food. At the checkout counter, a friendly man smiled at Eunhye. Helping your mother with the shopping? He asked. Eunhye nodded. I'm Mr. Kim, he said. What's your name? Eunhye, she whispered. Ah, what a beautiful name, he said. Doesn't it mean grace? Eunhye nodded again. My mother and grandmother went to a name master for it, she told him. A graceful name for a graceful girl, Mr. Kim said, as he put their groceries into bags. Welcome to the neighborhood, Eunhye. That evening, Eunhye stood in front of the bathroom mirror. My name is Amanda, she said cheerfully. Then she wrinkled her nose. No, my name is Laura. No, maybe not. Her smile turned down. Nothing sounded right. Nothing felt right. I don't think American kids will even like me, she worried, as she began to brush her teeth. My name is Shushi, she said to the mirror with her mouth full of toothpaste. The next morning, when Eunhye arrived at school, she found a glass jar on the desk with some pieces of paper in it. Eunhye took one out and read it really loud. Daisy, it said. That's my baby sister's nickname, but she said that you can use it if you want, said Cindy, who sat next to her. Eunhye took out the rest of the paper. Tamela, she said. I got it from a storybook, said Nate. She was smart and brave. Eunhye nodded and unfolded yet another piece of paper. Wednesday? Yeah, because you came here on Wednesday, said Ralph. Thank you for your help. A smile spread over Eunhye's face. Ralph quickly said, we'll put more names in, and you can pick out whatever you like. Or pick them all. You can have the longest name in history. At 3 o'clock, the bell rang for the end of the school day. Eunhye looked out the window and saw that it was sprinkling. It's the same rain, she thought, but in a different place. She watched other kids leaving in groups. Hey! A familiar voice called out to her. Eunhye turned around to see the curly-haired boy again. I'm Joey, he said. And you? Don't you have any name? Eunhye thought for a moment. Well, I can show you.